What's going on, Sumolings? Thank you so much for joining us for another product walkthrough webinar. I am Lindsay, and today I am very excited to let y'all know that I am joined by the team over at Deskera. Deskera is an award-winning, full-featured platform that lets you manage accounting, payroll, invoicing, email campaigns, CRM, and more. It is a big deal for us to have them here, and we are excited to be sharing their tool with y'all today. It is starting at $149 for a lifetime deal on AppSumo right now. Before we dive into the walkthrough, I just want to tell y'all a few quick things. If you haven't joined us for one of these before, the first thing is that if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, about your use case, where you're hanging out with us from, anything like that, go ahead and leave that in the chat room. If you have any questions, though, about the tool, the deal, how to get set up, go ahead and leave those questions in the Q&A box down below this video. We do have a couple people on standby to answer those questions, but we will also be circling back to questions at the end of the walkthrough, which is useful to know if you are watching this in the replay. There will be a replay of this available, and you can watch this as many times as you would like. All right, that is it for me. Hey, David, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. So let me just share my screen. All right, 1 second. And now you can see my screen here.
Yep.
So my name is David. I'm here to show you Deskera's all-in-one business solution for small to medium-sized companies. And we're trying to make it more relatable. So let's show how a simple business, Next Electronics in Texas, that buys electronic items like keyboards, monitors, etc. from manufacturers and sells them in bulk to stores locally. So the first thing they're going to do, most likely, is click Buy Now. Huh? Okay. Let me go back for a second. Click Buy Now, and then they're going to select the product. And then they're going to proceed to checkout. They're going to get the code. Then they're going to go to Deskera.com. Then they're going to sign on in. And then they'll go to the Deskera all-in-one dashboard. So inside here, at a glance, you can see how your company's doing. You can see your invoices, your age receivables, your bank account, your won-and-lost deals, your pipeline view, your contacts report, your expense claims, your payroll, and your leave per month. So this allows you to see everything in a glance. And how is this data getting generated? It's generated by the applications, your Deskera Books, your Deskera Sales, your Deskera People. So let's click on Deskera Books. So inside here, you have all your different transactions, your buy, your sell, your products, your contacts. And on the dashboard, you can see your invoice, your age receivables, your bills, your bank accounts, your cash flow, your profit and loss. But if this is the first time you're logging in, you're going to probably see something like this, where you create your organization. So you can put in, for example, Next Electronics. You can put in your financial year start date, your book beginning date. You can put in your tax registry. And your reporting currency, and then you can create it. After that, it's up to you. You can import your products, your contacts, your chart of accounts. And we have an import function from QuickBooks, from Xero. We also have XLS files, so you can also use that for uploading as well, including your openings. Now let's click on Buy. Inside here, you can create your orders, your bills, your new expense bills. So let's click on Orders. Inside here, I can click Add a Contact. And you can see I can create a new contact directly from the screen. I can put in the name, Henry's Computers, the email address. I can go to Accounting. I can see the net payment, the accounts payable, accounts receivable, and I can type in the address. And you can see it auto-populates. So I just click on it, and the information populates accordingly. I can just save. After saving, I can click here, and I can find it, and it populates. Next, I can add in a line item. I can click here, and I can add in the product. So you can see, I don't even need to go to the contacts. I don't need to go to the products to create a product or a contact. I can do it right from the transaction screen itself. Now let me click Add Images. And let me select a picture. I'm just picking a picture, and then I'm clicking Open, and then it appears here. We have 3 different types of products. We have non-tracked, tracked, and bill of materials. Non-tracked, you can consider it like electrician, plumber, or what my sister does. She's a certified public accountant and she does external audits. We have tracked products, so you can think of it like laptops, keyboards, mouses. And we have bill of materials. So you can think of this like a desktop where you have your monitor, your CPU, your fan, and all sorts of other information that you need to assemble in order to produce the product. So let's go to tracked first. I'm going to put in the laptop. I can put in a barcode, or when I go to the mobile, I can actually scan the barcode into the system. And I can go to accounts and I can see my purchase account and my purchase price. This is my default purchase price and my sales account and my sales price. So this is just defaulted. It'll show under my buy and sell, but it will not, I can change it at the time when I create it. And of course we have our return sales account, purchase return account. And under inventory, we have our inventory unit of measurement, which is, you can select like pieces, our cost of goods sold account, inventory account, stock adjustment account, our opening quality, and our opening valuation. Now, if I go here and I change this to bill of materials, and I go to, there we go. Then I go here, I can see the manufacturing account. And over here, this is where I can add in the components and I can add the additional costs like assembly. Now let's go back and let's just make this a track product and let's save. All right, now I can just go here and I can see all my products I have and I can just type in laptop. I click on that, I can put in the quantity. I can put any discount. If I put in just the number, it's a flat discount. If I put in percentage, it becomes a percentage discount. Very simple. Next, we have the order date, due date. We have the number range, which is manual input or running number. And we can create custom number formats, global custom fields, multi-currency options, and we can also set as recurring. So let's save. Now here, we can click on the three dots and we can receive the goods. So this lets me choose the receive date. I can choose the warehouse that I want to select and the receiving quantity. But if I only have one warehouse, it seems like an extra step. So I can just click bill and I can convert and auto receive, meaning it'll go to my primary warehouse. Now under bills, I can see this bill here. It's pending. And then I can just click pay. This is just to record it. We have interfaces with Veeam, and that one you can actually make a payment from, but this one's just for recording purposes only. So I can select the bank account, the payment type. I can choose the date, the reference number, click next, and I can pay. Again, the record has just been recorded in the system. Next, let's go to sell. Inside here, I can click create and I can create a new quote or a new invoice. So let's create a new quote. Again, I can click on add contact and you can see I can create a new contact, but let's select a contact this time. So let's choose Austin Circuits Private Limited and let's add the product. Let's add a laptop. And now this is where I can edit the product. So for example, a massive deal, a $1 laptop. I can attach any attachment. I can put a quote date, due date, and ship by. And again, I can choose my running number or manually input, custom number format, global custom fields, multi-currency options, and set as recurring. And I can save. Once saving, I can click on the three dots and I can fulfill. We have three different methods of fulfillment. We have direct, which is just like what you saw in purchases, where you can select the date you receive it and the warehouse. We have pick, pack, ship, where you can pick the goods, pack it, and then ship it. And then we have, of course, on the apps, we have USPS, or United States Postal Service, and FedEx, where you're able to track the movement of the shipment. And we have drop ship. So drop ship is just for recording purposes, where you can record where the customers place the order, where you place the order to the vendor, and the vendor sending the product to the customer. But I also can just click here, convert. And inside here, I can fulfill and convert, fulfill, and convert partially. So I have a choice on which one I want. So I'm going to fulfill and convert. Then I can go to invoices. And then inside here, I can go click on the three dots, and then I can click on email. we connect to Stripe, so I can insert a payment link here. We can also connect through Veeam or PayPal. I'll show you that later when we get to the apps page. And I can see it's sent to whom, and I can send it off. Once sent, I can wait here and receive my email, and I can see it here. I can see my invoice, and I can click my link for Stripe. And then I can, of course, put in my card number, month, year, CVC, and then pay the invoice accordingly. All right. And now I'm just going to click Get Paid. If you do the actual, if you click here and do the link, it'll automatically get paid. But since I'm not going to actually pay it, I'm just going to do the Get Paid here. And again, this is just for informational purposes. This is not actually you're receiving the payment. This is just for recording. So I select again the deposit to, I select the payment type, I select the reference date and the reference number. Click Next, and then I can receive. And I can print it out here as well. I can also click on the three dots, and we have this wonderful tool called Design. Inside here, we have multiple templates for you to select. So I can see all these different templates. I can choose the color, the theme. Maybe I want to make it green. I can choose my logo here. So I'm just selecting a picture. I'm just clicking open, and you can see the logos here. I can see the company name, company address, bill to, ship to, invoice number, and I can even input a signature. So it's very simple, and you have all these different templates to choose from. Next, let's go to accounting. Inside here, I can see my chart of accounts. And this is where I can actually import my chart of accounts. Some companies already have their own chart of accounts. So this is where you can import it. I can also add it in here, and I can export. I can go to journal entries. So this is where I can see all my journal entries. I can expand the records. I can import my journal entries, export them, and I can create normal journal entries and fund transfers. Next, we have our opening balances. Inside here, you can see my accounts opening balances, and I can, of course, import it if I have a large amount, but I can also just make the changes directly on the screen itself and just save. Same thing with inventory. Inside here, I can see the opening valuation. I can put in the opening valuation here, and the opening valuation is the total amount of the opening quantity. And I can just save it here. And then we have our opening invoices and our opening bills. So inside here, I can see all my different contacts, and I can click here, create, and I can create my opening sales invoice and my opening bills here. Next, we have our debit note. So this is where I can create my debit notes. This is where I can create my credit notes. This is where I can create my expenses. And I can create direct expense or a prepayment. And I can go click on deposit, and I can create a direct payment or advance payment. So this would go, of course, to sales, and my prepayment. And of course, under expenses, my prepayment would go to my bills. All right, let's go to banks. Inside here, I can see my different bank accounts, and you can see this bank account is connected to Stripe with that beautiful S. So inside here, you can go and you can look at reconnect, disconnect, import statement, view Stripe. And when we can connect to different bank accounts. So inside here, I can connect to a new bank account using Plaid. And they have the different types of bank accounts here, like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, US Bank, and you click and you log in. You can also connect through Salt Edge. So inside here, I just type in the bank name. And I can see the Bank of America, and I put in my username and password. And then I can auto reconcile. But if I'm not connected to the bank, you can still reconcile. You can go here, and you can go and import your statement, and then you can match them accordingly. Next, let's go to reports. Inside here, we have our profit and loss, where I can see, of course, my cost of goods sold. I'm able to export the report, and I'm able to filter based upon different custom fields. I'm also can drill into my balance sheet. I can see my banks, my other information here. And again, I can export it and filter it. We have our cash flow statement. So inside here, I can see my cash flow statement, and we are able to see direct or indirect, and we can see the mapping. So inside here, I can see all the different mapping to my accounts, and like cash flow for investing activities, I can assign my accounts here. Of course, general ledger, trial balance, we have bank reconciliation summary, so I can see what unreconciled withdrawals, unreconciled deposits, and see the information accordingly here. We also have your statement of accounts, and over here we have your stock availability by warehouse. So I can just click on keyboards. I can see Houston warehouse has 500 keyboards, and I can see Austin warehouse doesn't. So I can just look here and see what's available. Of course, we have our stock ledger, stock aging report, inventory valuation, details report. We have our sales return report. We have, of course, our age receivables and our age payables as well. And that was a quick look at Deskera Books. So moving on, let's go to Deskera CRM. So this is where you're going to be able to see your different deals. And of course, your different campaigns and your different services. Sure, why not? So inside here, we have the dashboard. So this is where I can see my organizations, people's, deals lost, deals won, my contact report, my upcoming activities. I can see my deal stages, my deal won versus lost, last week, last month, past 6 months, my campaigns. Again, last week, last month, last 6 months, and any tickets raised. So let's go to contacts. Inside here, we can go and create our contacts. I just have to click create, and then I can create a contact here. I can put in the contact name. So for example, Button Computers, I can select the organization, I can select the image. For example, a picture of a button, whatever their logo is. I can go here and assign people. So maybe Rick Ryan is part of this. I can assign labels. Is it cold, warm, hot, or customer? Put in the email address, and I can assign the owner. So maybe Stacy Williams is the owner, and the sub-owner is Mary Ann Moss, and I can add another owner if I want to, for example. Maybe I want to add myself as another sub-owner. And I can choose the visibility. Is it private, team, or everyone? And I can save. Once saved, I can see my wonderful new contact here. Next, let's go to deals. Let's make a deal. So inside here, we have our default pipeline, but our system allows you to add in multiple pipelines. So you can configure it and create to how you would like. And now I can click on this to create different appointment schedule, qualify different deals. And I can see a list view here if I want to. So inside here, I can see the list view and see everything. So let's click on the plus sign and let's create a deal. So maybe the deal name is opportunity to sell 50 laptops. Now I can select the organization. So let's use Button Computers. We just created them. I can select the owner. So let's use Stacy Williams, sub-owner. I'll use myself. And I'll put down the deal value. So maybe $10,000, for example, or $50,000. And I can select my pipeline and the pipeline settings and the closing date. And I just save. Now my opportunity's been created. Now I can click in and drill in. Now inside here, I can create an email and it allows me to connect to my Gmail or connect to IMAP. I can also log in an email here. So for example, I can put the date, the time. I can say, dear Stacy, looking forward to the call later today from Rick Ryan. And then I can just log it. And now it's been logged. I can go to activities and create activities here. So for example, maybe I have a follow-up call. And maybe I'll select the date. Maybe it's not today, maybe it's going to be tomorrow. And maybe it's going to be around, let's see, maybe 2 p.m. sounds good. For 1 hour. I'm going to assign this to Stacy. And the contact person, of course, is Rick. And the organization is Buttons. And then I can just send the invitation. And I can save it. Once it's there, I can see my future activity. And if I want to complete it, I just click the checkbox. I can add in notes. I can add a log. And I can go back to deals. And literally, I can just drag and drop. So for example, I can just drag and drop. Okay, presentation's been scheduled. Contract sent. And if I want to, I can just drag and drop into close won or close lost. Or I can go here inside the deal and I click deals won. And the deal's been successful. Next, let's go to campaigns. Inside here, I can add a campaign. And I can put in the campaign name. So for example, October sales event, subject, Halloween, sales event. I can select the category and I can add in additional categories and go next. Now this is where I can select my segment, who I'm sending it off to. Click next, then I can select my template. So I'm going to click my template and I'm going to use this template. Now inside here, I can put in text, images, image groups, image text, box text, different sections, buttons, and it's just literally drag and drop. So I can just drag and drop it in here. And I can view it. So for example, this is what it looks like on my desktop. This looks what it looks like on my tablet. And this is what it looks like on my phone. You can see this looks a little squished. So I need to choose probably a different size picture. And once everything's done, I just save and continue. After I'm done, I click next. Then I put in the sender name, sender's email address. And I can use a different reply to address. And I can send now or schedule for later. And I set it and I schedule it. Maybe 11:30. Now it's scheduled. So you can see October sales event campaign scheduled successfully. Now let's go to campaign. Now inside here, once it's sent, you can drill in. And I can see when people have read this or read the email. I can see here on the 24th, 4 people read it. On the 26th, 1 person read it, and I can see who's read it and who's not. Next, let's go to services and go to guide. So inside here, I can see my sections, my announcement, my FAQ, and I can go to my articles, and I can always add an article. I can click on the 3 dots, and I also can edit it. So inside here, I can bold it, italicize, underline, strike through, indent, bullets, numberings, change the size, add a link, add a picture, and create my article. For example, for my FAQ. Once done, I can choose the visibility, sign in user, everyone, and what section it goes under. I can also add a new section, and I can preview it, and I can save. For support, you can go and connect your support email for your tickets through here, and you just click your add support email and you connect it through your Gmail. And that's a quick look at Deskera CRM. Let's go to Deskera People. So inside here, this is where you're going to have your pay run, your pay schedule. You're going to have all your different employee data. And information. Oops, sorry. Sorry, my internet looks like it's a little slow. So just give me a second. Let me just close this and I'll reshare again. My apologies. All right, let me share my screen. Let's go to Deskera people. Yep, so inside here, you can see your last payroll, your total earnings, your total deductions. You're able to see important dates, things to do, your year to date, your payroll costs, total earnings, and total deductions here. And I'm able to go look at my pay schedule. So inside here, I can add my pay schedule, and I can put the schedule name, like weekly. And I can select the pay period. Is it monthly, weekly, or twice monthly? And I can see the schedule work week. I can select the pay date. I can select the first pay date, and I can select the work period. So for example, maybe 4th to 10th. And I can apply. And then I can say, is it applicable to all users or certain users? After that, I can go create a component, and I can add a component here. So for example, maybe bonus. Then I can say, is it a deduction or earning? And is it applicable to all users? And I can save. Next, we can go to employees, and I can go to employee list. And this is where I can import my employees or add my employees here. I put in the name, Will Moss. I put in the email address. I can put in the designation. Maybe he's the CEO of the company. I can select the birth date. Maybe he's born in 1985, June 4th. I can select the joining date. So maybe July, and confirmed in October. I can input the address. And I can auto-populate it there. Then I can put in compensation details. Is he full-time, part-time, casual, shift worker, probation, outworker? What's his basic salary? And is this per year, per month, or per hour? Then we can click next, and I can select the component. Does he have any bonuses? I can click next, and then I can put his social security number in here. Is he federally filing status is single or married filing separately? Is C2 is marked in W4? Then you click here, and state tax. So this is for Texas, single or married filing separately. And once you're done, you just click save. After that, you can see it's been created. And please take note, this is specifically for the US, and it changes based upon which country you select. So different countries, different statutory requirements. Now let's go to pay run. So inside here, we can add a pay run. Let me add the pay schedule. Pay period is monthly, and let's select the working period. So the working period, we're gonna select 1st to the 31st. I'm gonna apply. I'm gonna say this is for all users. I'm gonna process the payroll. Inside here, I can see my employees, my LOP, additional earnings. So you see your federal income, Social Security, your employees tax, your net pay. I can see all the employees over here. I can click next. I can see all the information. If everything looks good, I can process payroll. And then it'll ask me, ensure accuracy, please review your payroll numbers and make sure they're 100% correct. Do you wish to proceed? Yes. I can click here to view summary, and I can finish. So let's finish. After finishing, I can click the view summary, and I can see all my information here. Next, I can go to my employees, and I can see my employee list. So I can actually go and drill down. So for example, maybe I'll go to Andy Smith, and I can see gross pay, tax, deductions, and I can see monthly, and I can download his pay stub. I can click on this, and I can see his pay slip right here. And we do have a pay slip creator or document designer for a pay slip inside our system. Next, let's go to eLeave. So inside eLeave, we have, of course, your sick leave, your yearly leave, your pending for approval, my monthly leave, company holidays, pending application, and yearly leave report. Now, if I click on settings and I go to leave management, I can see my leave type, days per year, created by, label, status. I'm able to create a new leave type. So we can think of it like maternity leave. And then I can select how many days per year. And then I can do leave prorate. Is it number of days, number of month, disabled? How is the leave accrued? Is it accrued monthly, yearly, one time? And I can carry forward the leave. So I can determine how many days are carried forward and maximum leave balance here. Put in a description, I can choose the color. I can choose which gender this applies to. For example, maternity leave, female, paternity leave, male. I can determine if it's applied to all users. Do you allow for unpaid leaves? Is it active? Can I apply before confirmation? And is it year-based entitlement? So the number of years you actually have been at the company. Just to give you an idea, you can change the period accordingly to how you want. Next, let's go to leave entitlement. So inside here, I can see my employee, sick leave, and yearly here, and what it's been assigned. I can click on applications, and I can click on new leave application, and I can apply here. But I'm actually now going to go to the mobile app, so that way you can see me applying through that. So I'm going to stop sharing. Just 1 second, let me connect to my mobile. And let me go here and see if I can share my screen. Share screen. Start broadcasting in 3, 2, 1. Yep, now you're able to see my screen from my mobile app. So inside here, you can see all your different transactions and all the information. It's just taking a little time to load. Let me just close this and reopen it again. It's been idle for too long. All right. So on the top of the screen, we have all our transactions, such as our invoice, our sales, quotation, our buy, our sell. So you can think of it as your bills and your orders. Yeah, there we go. Your quotation, your invoices, your expenses, your deposit, your orders, your bills, your product, your contacts, your pick, pack, ship, your CRM, your payroll, and of course your e-leave. So inside here, I can click the plus sign and I can click on leave type. So if I want to apply for yearly leave, I just click on that. I can select the date range. So maybe I want to apply for 9th and the 10th, for example. And I can say, is it full day or half day? Reason, spend time with family. I just click the checkbox and I've applied for my leave. Next, I can click on approve pending leaves. And inside here, I can see all the pending and rejected. And I just click on it. I can reject or approve right on the screen itself. Next, let's go to e-claims. So let's go expense claims here. And here I can see all my claims for review. I can also click on the plus sign and I can scan a receipt. And I can use it with taking photo, for example. So I just go here, try to get the best picture I can, and I use the photo. And you can see merchant IDs has been picked up, date, total amount's been picked up, and I can just select the category here. Maybe it's food. And then I can submit. Now inside the mobile app, you can see we have a lot of stuff here as well. All the transactions that I was able to do in books is pretty much here. I mean, quotation, invoice, expense, deposit, order, bills. I can see my masters. We have pick, pack, ship. I can see my CRM here. Sales, deals, campaigns. I can see my contacts here. And I can see any upcoming activities. And I can also create an activity here as well. And we have all our different reporting and of course, organization administration. Now let me go back to the web page. So let me just share the screen again. And I'm going to go to the App Store. Let me just go to. And now I'm at the App Store. So inside here, you can see our different connections. So we have Veeam, we have Fixed Assets, we have PayPal, we have Stripe. We have United States Postal Service, we have FedEx, we have Stock Transfer, Stock Adjustment, and we have Zapier, which connects book accounting with 2,000 plus other services. So USPS, United States Postal Service, FedEx, this helps you track your packages. And let me click on Veeam. And let me open. And just to let you know, our team is continuously adding new integrations to our App Store. So inside here, I can see my purchase invoices. I can send it over here and put the contact, the email. Under the sales invoices, I can click send here, and then I can put in the contact email, and do you want to update your email in Deskera Books? And I can send it off here. I can go to PayPal. I can go here and I can open it on up. And inside here, I just have to click on invoices. Inside here, I can send, I can see the PayPal invoice. I can see the amount and click on the link. I can see the amount due here, who's the invoice to, and I can go up and print in PDF. All right. And that's a quick look at our Deskera apps. So I think we're ready now for the Q&A session.
Let's do it. All right. Sumolings, there are a lot of questions here to get through. There's no way that we can get through all of them. I don't think, but I'm going to try super hard. A question that I saw coming up quite a few times was, is there a way to do automatic payments or to set somebody up on direct deposit?
Automatic payments, you mean it'll be automatically deducted every week or month?
For payroll. It came in a bunch. For payroll, is direct deposit available? Can you auto pay salaries? Payroll is only manually processed. Is there an option to set it to automatically process?
Okay. Based upon my understanding, inside the US version currently, there is no connection to auto pay at this time. But Saurabh, are we planning to connect something like that later on?
Yeah, so we are working on connecting the bank account to Deskera people. So what would happen is once the employer, that is you, would connect your bank account, it will automatically deduct money from there and deposit to the employee's bank account, right? So that's already being worked on and that's in the pipeline. You should be seeing that soon, coming up soon in the product, yeah. And as I think the second question was regarding, do we have to run the payroll every time or does it run on autopilot, right? So to answer that question, yes, that feature is also in the pipeline. Again, stay tuned to our Discord and Facebook groups, and I think you'll be hearing a lot from us on latest releases that are happening. So this is one of them, yes.
Excellent, thank you. I imagine this question comes in a number of forms. The first one that I'm seeing here, though, is that somebody has a web designing business and a client's online grocery store business that involves purchasing from suppliers. So they have two different use cases. Can I use Deskera for both these businesses? So a web designing business and a grocery store business purchasing from suppliers.
Absolutely, you can. So the way to do that would be, if these are two different business entities, then you can set up two companies within Deskera using the same admin ID, and you should be able to run both the businesses from there.
Wonderful. All right. Can you import clients from FreshBooks or any other place?
Yeah, so we have built-in import available which is through the API for QuickBooks and Xero. But in addition to that, you can easily import all your contacts, products, chart of accounts, opening balances, inventory, etc., using an Excel import.
Fantastic. When designing an invoice, can I change the logo and business name multiple times for separate invoices, or will it be the same logo and business name for all?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we have multiple ways to handle this. So what you can do is you can create different templates. So David, if you could go to the document designer part, then we can show that. So you can set up multiple templates for each kind of document. And you can choose a different logo, different name, different verb, labeling on each of the templates. And while you are printing or sharing the email, the invoice or the quotation or whatever, you can choose the template that you want to send along with. So let's say I have 3 different logos and I use those on my different invoices, and I can create one template called invoice logo 1, another called invoice logo 2, and so on. And when I'm sharing the invoice, I can choose to print it out or share it in whichever format I want to. In addition to that, if David, you could go to the design function, then if you go, yeah. So if you look at the design function here for an invoice, then you have multiple templates here to choose from. You can upload your logo on the fly here if you want to. So if you want to use a completely different logo that you have not used anywhere for whatever reason, you can just add and change it here, and then you can email it, download it, print it, or share it.
Awesome. Is Deskera able to manage inventory for online stores?
Yes, we can. So in fact, there is something that I thought, if we get the time, because one of the questions that we kept getting was integration with WooCommerce and Shopify, etc., on the deals page. And we have already a working instance of WooCommerce integration that is available now, but not on production. We are still taking it through some stages of testing. And if we have time, then maybe we can give you a quick preview of how to connect that. And it allows you to integrate your products, your contacts, all the transactions. So you receive an order, let's say on WooCommerce, somebody pays you for that. It immediately goes back into Deskera, and you have your invoice there. You can choose to fulfill, etc., and it will update everything.
Awesome. I don't know how much time we have, so I don't want to make promises that we can show that. We have 60 questions here.
Sure.
So I'm going to try. This next one is a batch. So the 2 parts. Can you connect to Canadian banks? Can this work with the Canadian tax code? And then do you connect with credit unions in the US?
Okay, so I think the Canadian one I just answered on the chat with the list of banks that we can connect. And for the Canadian tax laws, we are going to add that. It is in our pipeline. So it will start off with sales tax and GST compliance and the different tax reports. And then gradually we will add those tax reports to be sent over automatically to the CPAs in the required ease file formats as per the necessary regulations. Did I miss some part of the question?
Okay, we have a request. I'm sorry. And this is a good point. Sina points out that questions can always be asked on the AppSumo deal page. So if we don't get to your question today, I apologize. They will be asked. But apparently there was some promised shop integrations that they wanted to see in today's webinar. Can we check out those? I know that's a big one for Sumolings.
Promise to show what?
Some shop integrations.
That's the WooCommerce one that I was talking about. So we can integrate with WooCommerce. We can show the shops.
Let's check it out.
Okay.
Yeah, WooCommerce.
So you'll
yes.
share?
So, yeah, David, you can go ahead. You have the link. So I'm sorry, this is like a quick and dirty video that we just made quickly because we wanted to make it available here. So not a very refined video. It's on the development environment. So yeah, so it is still a work in progress. There will be some more refinement to it, but yeah, this is here for you to see. So yeah, go ahead, David.
Sorry, I just have to sign into my other Google account.
Sorry to
Oh, okay.
spring this one on you. We can go through some questions. Can actions be triggered with reminders for a contact/deal being moved from one stage to another? Are there automations?
So you mean workflow automation? If that is the case, then yes, workflow automation is one of the things that we are going to provide, and not just for CRM, but for other applications as well as a separate tool, in fact. So you can create different workflow automations. For example, if you have a quote that has not been acted on, let's say in 5 days, then should the system send out a reminder, or if you have received a payment, then it should automatically change the status of the invoice to fulfilled, let's say, because you don't want to do it manually, for example. And similarly for CRM, we will have workflow automation rules that will allow you to configure notifications or approvals, etc., as required.
Excellent. Thank you. Are we all ready for the WooCommerce
Yep,
bit?
already. I'll share the screen.
Do it. Cool.
Come here. Expand. All right.
So yeah, this is, I mean, if you notice the URL, it is a staging URL, right? And we have this organization here, and on the staging environment, we have the WooCommerce app. So you can connect the app first, and you will have to authenticate with Deskera and with WooCommerce using your WooCommerce or WordPress ID. So you can enter your WordPress domain here, and it connects. You have to obviously authenticate. And if you have multiple companies, then you can choose which company you want to connect to. Now, once the connections are done, then this is the default mapping that you have for all the different transactions. So the system maps it for you, but you can always change it. And then once it is ready, you just need to click on sync. And the information would now start flowing between the two, especially from WooCommerce. So if you have any WooCommerce transaction happening, you will see the WooCommerce ID here, which is the WC ID field. And then if there are any orders, what is the status of the order, what is the total, etc. And all of this will flow inside Deskera. So yeah, these are some of the products that we saw there. So yeah, these are all the products that we saw in WooCommerce that are coming over here, and now they will come into the Deskera system as well. So you see the Pinewood 4 and Oak T3 and all of those. All the contacts have also moved over to Deskera now from the WooCommerce platform, and all the orders and invoices, etc., will also be visible here. And because these are already paid and paid invoices, so you see it directly in your archived information. So yeah, that's it. I mean, again, this is a quick and dirty video. As I said, we just got this up and running, a few hours before the webinar, but we wanted to show it to you because we had made a promise.
Amazing. That looks great. We did get some feedback already saying that this sold them. So, and yeah, I'm glad that we took the time to look that. Thank you to Sina for pointing that out. That was great. Thank you so much for showing us that. let's go ahead and run through as many questions as we can for the next 9 minutes or so. How do you track commission earned in Deskera? Would it be tracked in books, sales, or the people module?
So commission, now there are different schools of thought around this, and I have encountered all of them. It depends on who you talk to. If you talk to the business owner, they say that it should be done in books. If you talk to the sales guy, he says it should happen in CRM. So what we have seen though, I mean, the most common practice that we have seen is that you tag a custom field for salesperson to all the invoices that you generate, and then you can get a report of all the invoices filtered by the salesperson to get an idea of how much revenue they have generated. And based on that, we do the sales commission calculation. So that's the most common practice that I have seen, because CRM, CRM is not accounted financial data. So some people are not comfortable with that. But I mean, if your company, again, it's completely up to you. You can add custom fields in CRM as well. In CRM, actually, you don't even need to add a custom field because you have the owner field in CRM, which tags the deal to a salesperson. So you can easily get a report.
Fantastic. Thank you. All right. Are campaigns delivered via the Deskera system or through SMTP, through our own personal email? If from Deskera, do you have any idea on Deskera deliverability percentage?
So far, we have on the Deskera deliverability percentage, we have a couple of backbones that we use to send out these, and those backbones have a pretty strong deliverability percentage. And I mean, they offer more than 99.9%. So that's there, right? We are adding options to integrate your own backbone instead of using the one that Deskera provides, which will kind of also remove any limits, etc. Because the limits are there if you're using the Deskera backbone. If you use a backbone provided by somebody else, then yeah, I mean, the limits will be transferred to them, not to us. So you have more flexibility. Same applies to adding your own SMTP server to send out emails.
All right. Can Deskera store cash transactions?
Cash transactions, as in, I mean, we have the option to record cash transactions. You can create direct expense and deposits, and you can choose cash account to record those transactions. And if you are transacting using invoices, we have the option to receive payment in cash as well. And you get the report for that as well in your payment reports, whether it's a cash transaction or not. Does that answer your
Awesome.
question, or was it something else?
No, I think that's right. I think that nailed it. Thank you. All right. Can you clarify this question? How many companies do you get per code?
Okay.
One.
So
yeah.
There are a couple of examples that I had shared on the deals page to explain this. So one question. Let's say you have 0 right now and you have 1 code, right? Then you sign up with AppSumo using your email address and you create a company. You have used up 1 code. You have 1 power user and 1 company. All right. And now let's say you want to add another company. So you go to the add organization and you add your organization. And in order to use the organization completely without any restrictions, you will need to add another code there. So you add the code to the new company. So now you have 1 power user with 2 companies and you have used up 2 codes. Now let's say you want to add a power user to one of the existing companies that you have. Then you need to use 1 more code for that. So a code can give you either a power user in one of the existing companies, or it can help you add a new company with the existing power user.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. Are the email marketing tools in Deskera robust enough to take the place of traditional EMS like ConvertKit or ActiveCampaign? And if so, nope, that's back to the other thing. Are we using your email server to send? We answered that. What precautions are in place to protect against being blacklisted?
So, well, we do advise. I mean, getting blacklisted is a slightly gray area. We recommend to follow all the best practices. so that you do not get blacklisted. So things like, do not send emails to people who have not subscribed to an email service, right? Or stick to the limits, right? But again, it depends on the backbone that you will end up using. As long as you're following a industry standard practices for sending out emails and good practices, that is, you should not get blacklisted.
And the first part of the question, are the email marketing tools robust to take the place of a traditional EMS?
So what we have here on offer is a complete CRM. So we are not just an email marketing tool, which is why we are going to provide integrations with other email marketing tools as well in the future, but we will continue to make it better.
Is there any integration possible for Indian banks and GST tax?
We already have, I think, 6 or 7 Indian banks available to connect, which I think they include ICICI Direct and ICICI, ICICI Business, Axis Bank, State Bank of India, HDFC, etc. And we are fully compliant with GST. We can calculate IGST, CGST, SGST, depending on your location and the location of your contact. So if it is intrastate or intra-state, all the calculations are in there. All our products you can map to HSA code, to an HSN code or an SSE code. So if you have mapped it, then the tax will be calculated accordingly. If there is cess to be applied based on those codes, then cess will also be applied, and you can see it in your invoice when you send it, etc. There is support for TDS, and you can get the GST 1, 2, 3. I mean, there are many forms there. So I don't remember all of them, but yeah, all the forms are available in the system. So yeah, we have full compatibility there. And yes, we have e-way bill support as well.
Cool. We have some follow-up questions about the deal itself. Is there a quick definition of power user? And how do the email numbers work when you use multiple codes in multiple businesses?
Okay. So a power user is someone who would need administrative access or would need enhanced access rights, like giving approvals to leaves, or in future when we have workflow automation, etc., then maybe around that. So anyone with an enhanced usage. So to put it in perspective of each of the different systems, right? Let's say I have the book system, right? And in books, I want to set my company settings. I want to see my profit and loss, and I want to see my balance sheet and other things. Then I would be a power user. I want to add more users to my system. I would need to be a power user. But if I only need to create invoices and send them, or I need to manage my products and invoices or purchases only, but I don't need the accounting information, and I don't need to add some other users to the system, or I'm not responsible for the billing of the system with Deskera, that is, then I don't need to be a power user. I can do my day-to-day business. So let's say I'm a front desk guy, right? Who is doing invoices and sending it to the clients. I don't need to be a power user. Similarly, if I go to CRM or sales, right? Then in sales, if I again want to add users, or I want to control who can do what in the system, then I need to be a power user. But if I just want to manage my deals and contacts or run email campaigns, I don't need to be a power user. If I need to reply to tickets on help desk, I don't need to be a power user. I can be a support agent who's there, who goes in and they see which tickets are coming in, I reply to them. In HR, if I am running the payroll, which is a pretty important task because there's lots of financial and personal data involved there, then I need to be a power user. But if I'm an employee who needs to apply for leaves or who needs to download and view their pay slips, I don't need to be a power user.
Awesome. We had a request. Do you have a public roadmap for people to see?
We have a public roadmap, which I believe we had shared in our Discord server as well, but we are updating that. So because roundabout, I mean, towards the end of every quarter, so the first month of the quarter is when we update our roadmaps. And we have received a lot of very good feedback from the community, and thank you so much for that, which we are incorporating into the roadmap for the next quarter. So you should see an updated roadmap very soon, probably before the end of this week, which will incorporate what we are going to do in the next quarter and the quarter after that. And it is available. Yeah, the link is available on our Discord server and on our Facebook group. So please join there, and you will keep getting updates on the product there as well.
Great. All right. I'm going to just take a few more questions. We do have a lot more here, so I'm just going to take a little bit more time if that's cool with everybody. One question is, are the contacts the same in the sales and the books area? Can you access both of them in the same, or are they separate?
Yeah,
Do you have to enter them twice?
Yeah, so right now, no, they are not. And there are certain mitigating reasons for that. One primarily being that the structure in books is, when you are adding a contact in books, then you have to take into account all the accounting principles as well, and whether they need to be mapped to a certain accounting code, or if they mandatorily need an address or not. But yeah, we have solved that problem. So it's not that, that problem is unsolvable, and we are going to add the integration between the two, so you don't have to enter it twice. So
All right.
that is something that is very high on our list. Yeah.
Cool. Can we link to multiple email addresses?
Using what? I need some more information for that.
We'll see if that comes in. What are these storage limits?
Again, the question would be for which function?
Cool.
I would say,
Ooh, we got a roadmap in the
I think
chat.
Jeremy just sent the link over, and you can see this. This will be updated as well very soon. As I said, we are going to update this based on all the new and great feedback that we are receiving from the community.
Yes, I think I say this in every webinar, but the first week after a AppSumo launch, you get a lot of feedback and you hear from a lot of people, and a lot of it's really great, and it takes a little bit of time to implement. So I think they understand that things change quickly after these launches. All right, we're gonna do just a few more questions. Can employees mark their own attendance?
That's a great question. And the funny thing is, we had this in our mobile app. So when we first launched our mobile app, we had this feature to mark the attendance using the mobile phone. And we even had features to geo-fence it. So for example, you can only mark your attendance if you're connected to a certain Wi-Fi, or if you can only mark your attendance if you are, say, within 100 meters of a location, for example. And we had all those features. Then we started building people as well. And we have removed that from the mobile app for now, because we want to integrate it fully with people, so that when it comes back in, it will be fully integrated with your payroll and attendance. So you don't even have to enter the, I'm sorry, there's some question. Can we see the kitty? I'm not sure about that. Okay, so
That's me. Yes,
So-
I will get the kitty in a second.
Yeah.
She's underneath the
So,
laptop.
so yeah, we had that in our mobile app. In fact, I have some, we have some old screenshots which actually show that function being used, and it will be back very soon.
Wonderful. All right. Is there a proposal creation section of the CRM?
No, we don't have that right now. But again, that is one thing that we are going to add to the system.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Oh, sweetie. All right. With the campaign, I handle a few local businesses to offer special offers. Can I use this app to do my special offer postings on their websites and social media profiles?
Could you repeat the question? I'm sorry, I did not get
Sure.
it.
I handle a few local businesses to offer special offers. Can I use this to do my special offer postings on their websites and social media profiles?
So I don't think so, no. But again,
Okay.
I'm not too clear on the question, so I'll probably need a little bit more detail.
No worries.
Lindsay, I'll just add to that. Again, one of the good thing is that we are integrated with Zapier, right? That almost connects to a lot of apps, and we also, there is something in the pipeline. If you stay tuned, you'll see that we are integrating to integrately and I think possibly, right? And I think those integration will open a lot of doorways for these kind of things that you need, right? Connecting to probably your social media accounts and Gmail and your calendar. So all those things will open up with these integrations, right? So with these connector tools. So yeah, stay tuned for those. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. Can we set up payment reminders and late fees on unpaid invoices post the due date?
Interesting that you mention it. We already have that in QA, so you should see that very soon.
Great. Do you all offer like trainings on your product or anything else? Can you set that up with some people? We have a request.
So we do host regular webinars, right? If needed. But yeah, again, if there is, in particular, we have a lot of videos, a lot of content posted online for these, self-help content. But if in any case, if you need, any of the users need help, they can always, we have a chat inside the product itself, right? Where our support team is there available all the time. They can ping us and we'll definitely see what we can do to help them out.
Great. Thank you. All right. We're going to have to wrap things up. Unfortunately, I want to get any last urgent questions in, and I'm afraid to put that call out. But if you have any last second questions, anything that you desperately want answered, I'm going to keep my eye here on the Q&A box to see what comes in this last minute. Is barcode scanning during fulfillment possible?
Yes. So when you're doing when you're capturing products for your fulfillment, especially in the pick, pack, ship module, where this is what we have seen is more common, then when you're actually picking the items and completing your pick list, you can enter the barcode through a barcode scanner there.
Great. All right. I'm marking all of the questions that are coming in right now as we're going to answer these live. So again, if you have a question, you stuck around this long and you desperately want it answered, this is your moment. All right. Can we add more power users after the deal? And if so, what is the price?
So we have a standard price that is available on the website, which is why I would request you to stack up, because this is an exclusive limited time deal.
Fantastic. Hear that, Simulings? Get your codes. All right. Does the sale calendar sync with Google Calendar?
Yes.
And can you create tax forms, federal and state, in the app?
Are we talking about US here?
I'm going to go with yes.
So yes, we do have federal forms and state tax forms for Texas for now. Federal forms, of course, that is in the pipeline and should be releasing soon. The e-filing, right now the capability is for you to download and do the submissions by yourself, right? However, we'll be coming up soon with the e-filing capability, so that's in the pipeline as well. So yeah, let you know once that's there.
Thank you. Can you accommodate other tax rates for other countries?
So we have a lot of compliance coming up, which will allow you to have built-in tax rates, especially for countries like Australia, Canada, UK, etc. very soon. But even if your country does not have it right now, which is the built-in compliance, then also you can add tax codes under company settings. I think, David, would you like to show them how to do that quickly?
Sure. Let me just share my screen. So inside Deskera Books, you just go down and you click on taxes here. Oh, and this is where you can talk and ask questions here. Send us a message and you see the support.
And you see
And
David there as well. So
yep, I'm there as well. and you can click here, add taxes, and then I can just type in my tax rate. So for example, maybe 100% tax. I can put in the description. I can put in the percentage. I can put in the tax code.
So
Or maybe
David, if
TX.
you're living in a country where you're giving 100% tax, then you need to relocate, man. So
We'll see what happens.
don't do that. Don't do that though.
But then I can select here my purchases, my sales, or both. So I can decide, is this for sales only, for purchases only, or is it applied for both? And then after I save, I can then determine the visibility by turning it on and off here. I can just continue to add in all the different tax types that I want.
Amazing. Thank you. Is Deskera Books a double entry bookkeeping system?
Yes.
Can we print paper checks on check paper using Deskera?
Absolutely. David, if you go to document template, we have the option to configure your check here. You just need to provide the dimensions or set it up using a Word document, load the template, and yeah, it's good to go.
If you
Real
can
check.
and download it here.
Oh, cool. Love it. I don't have any more questions. I'm convinced to buy 3 codes right away. Can we integrate a point of sale?
So we already have integration with Zapier, and I'm waiting for the brickbats, but we are going to add Integrately and Padly Connect and Integrato. And again, these are all based on the very good feedback that I have from the community. So yes, you can use any of these to connect dedicated POS in future. I mean,
Great.
right now you can connect it using Zapier, but I know how Sumo links don't like Zapier. So yeah, we are going to add more options there.
Sorry. Can you please talk about privacy?
So what do you want to know? I mean,
I don't know. I did see GDPR come up earlier once. In general, how private is stuff?
so we are not GDPR compliant at the moment, but as we add more European countries, as we go to the UK, as we go to other European countries, then obviously that is going to be the one major point that we will have to address, and we are going to address that, yes.
Great. Chris says this has been the best webinar that he's attended so far. I'm going to say that's all on y'all and my kitten. So thank you. When will Canadian tax support be coming and payroll? Will there be direct deposit for Canadian payroll? We have a lot of Canadians here today, by the way. Shout out to Canada.
So, yeah, I mean, I won't be able to give you the exact timeline right now on the call, but as I said, we will be releasing an updated roadmap. So stay tuned on our Facebook and Discord group, and you will find out very soon.
Great.
But it will be, I mean, so just to give you some idea, it won't be 2022. It won't even be, yeah. So it won't be 2022. It will be a lot sooner than that.
Cool. When paying a commission employee, how do I manage a different commission splits?
A different commission, what? Sorry,
Splits. I'm guessing different percentages.
okay. It will have to be added manually at the moment.
Cool. Can we generate an HTML code that we can copy and paste into the system/online invoice that will act as a pay button for external bank transfer or external credit card payments?
I'm sorry, Lindsay, your voice is breaking a little bit. Maybe it's the connection on my side, but
I'm so
I
sorry.
missed out in some parts.
That's okay. I will repeat. Can we copy and paste an HTML code into the system/online invoice that will act as a pay button for external bank transfers or external credit card payments?
I see. So when you are sending out the email, right, then you can add anything in that email body. David, could you just show that? If you go to sell and you have an invoice, you can send it. So go to send email and you get the option to edit or update this. Yeah, so you can insert a link here if you want to. We also have Stripe connection, which allows you to insert the link here automatically if we have connected the account to Stripe. So you see this insert payment link here. If you choose that, then the system will insert the Stripe connected payment link here. like this. And you can do your own insertion here if you want.
Great, thank you. Can we choose the server location? So like in terms of data privacy, as a Canadian company, can our data reside in Canada?
Absolutely, yes. So we use AWS, and AWS gives you the option to host your data in different geographies. So I don't see any problem there.
Great. Can we add a fee percentage for online payments or a discount for offline ones, depending on how the customer chooses to pay?
That's an interesting one. We don't have that, but that is something that we're looking to add in the system.
Great.
But
Thank you.
there are some technical complications around that, but yeah, we'll get around that.
Cool. Can we tag / segment revenue or expenses?
I
can give you an example use case if you want one.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah, to report income for each rental property without having to set up a separate rental income account for each property.
Yes, I think you can. I mean, I don't see any reason why we could not do it in the system.
Great.
You can actually, so we have lots of functions in the system. Like, I mean, we have got custom fields, which I think is a very powerful feature if used correctly. So let's say you have 50 different properties, right? You don't have to create a separate account or GL code for each property to track what's going on there. All you need to do is create one rental property account and then add a custom field, and you can add all the available properties in the custom field. So whenever you are doing any transaction in that particular account, you can choose to select which property this transaction is for by selecting the appropriate custom field. And what that will allow you to do is later on you want to filter your profit and loss, let's say, or your balance sheet by that particular custom field, you can do that. Or you can filter the list of all the entries by that custom field. You will have the option to do that.
Great, thank you. All right, can we set up payroll tax parameters for another country, not the US, and input additional fields for other deductions? Don't bark, honey.
So we have taken that into consideration already. We received quite a few queries in the past, so we have added that to our pipeline. And yes, we'll be updating you soon on that.
So right now we can still add different earnings and deductions, but there are a couple of use cases which have to be handled as well, which we have realized, especially in some of the geographies. There are a few special use cases that need to be handled there. So yes, that will be taken into consideration.
Wonderful. All right. We have run out of time by about 20 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up. But I really appreciate all of you who have stuck with us till the end, and for all of your wonderful questions. And of course, thank you so much to the Deskera team for answering all of those questions and for providing such a thoughtful and just thorough webinar. This has been a really great walkthrough. Sumolings, if you have not already, you can redeem your codes appsumo.com/Deskera. This deal is starting at $149 for a lifetime deal and is of course backed by AppSumo's 60-day guarantee. So go ahead and get set up, play around with it, see how it works for you. We do love to hear how it is working for you. So go ahead and leave those reviews on the deal page. And then, of course, if you have any more questions, I know that there are plenty. If you have any more questions, you can always leave those on the deal page as well. Thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with us.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a wonderful
Kidding
day.
next time, too. Yes, everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. Have a good one.